Before it became an icon of American comedy, it was meant to be a joke, a deliberate disaster on four wheels. The Wagon Queen Family Truckster, born in 1983 for National Lampoon's Vacation, wasn't just a car. It was a rolling monument to everything wrong with Detroit design. Built to look hideous, painted in a color so revolting, it made audiences laugh before a single line of dialogue. But what most people don't know is that the Truckster wasn't simply ugly by accident. Behind its 8 headlights, suffocated grille, and fake wood paneling lies a web of rivalries, bets, lawsuits, and myths. Who really designed it? The legendary George Barris or an uncredited Warner Bros. Team? Did a stuntman truly launch it 50 feet across the desert to win a bet? And why are replicas today selling for more than the originals that starred in the movie? This isn't just a list of trivia. It's a forensic dive into one of Hollywood's strangest legends. So buckle up, because we're about to uncover 20 weird facts about the Family Truckster, the car that was built to fail yet somehow became unforgettable. Number 20. The Metallic P Nightmare. It all started with a color no sane person would ever choose. Metallic P, a sickly green that seemed part mint, part mildew, and entirely wrong. Warner Bros. Paint department mixed it from scratch, intentionally designing a shade that looked expensive yet nauseating. In the story, Clark Griswold had ordered an Antarctic blue sports wagon, but what he got was this revolting green monster. That choice was symbolic. Before the Griswolds even left their driveway, their vacation had already gone wrong. The paint itself became a running joke on set. Crew members called it radioactive guacamole. Even professional car restorers can't match it today. Some mix gold flakes into mint green paint, others spray multiple clear coats to dull the shine, but nothing quite captures that original vomit glow. The Truckster's color was a visual punchline, warning every viewer that the Griswolds' American dream was already peeling at the edges. Number 19. The 8-headlight monster. When the Truckster rolled onto set, even Chevy Chase burst out laughing. Its grotesque face, 8 headlights arranged like insect eyes, looked wrong from every angle. The Warner Bros. Mechanics achieved this absurdity by salvaging spare headlight assemblies from Ford Country Squires and Crown Victorias, flipping the extra pair upside down, then wiring them all to function. It was a parody of the 1970s obsession with more chrome, more lights, more everything. The front of the Truckster became a visual punch to the bloated excess of American design. Crew members joked it looked like a car suffering from automotive elephantiasis. Ironically, the complexity paid off. Those doubled headlights became its signature, instantly recognizable even in silhouette. It was so hideous that it transcended ugliness, turning into a comedic masterpiece. Proof that sometimes, to make people laugh, you have to build something truly awful. Number 18. The suffocated grille. Look closely at the Truckster's front, and you'll notice something disturbing. It can barely breathe. The grille was almost completely sealed off, leaving only tiny slits for airflow. From an engineering standpoint, it's madness. A big V8 engine needs cooling, especially on a desert road trip. But that was the genius of the design. Everything about the Truckster was intentionally wrong. The suffocated grille symbolized the claustrophobia of family life, the way suburban dreams could choke under their own expectations. During filming, replicas actually overheated in traffic because builders copied the grille too faithfully. The art department loved that irony. Their fake dysfunction worked so well, it caused real mechanical failure. The Truckster wasn't designed to run. It was designed to suffer beautifully. Number 17. 5 cars, 5 fates. Warner Bros. Didn't rely on one Truckster, they built 5. Each had a destiny. The hero car was pristine, used for close-ups. The jump car had a reinforced frame and roll cage for the desert leap. The high-speed car received upgraded brakes and a tuned engine for highway scenes. Another was pre-damaged for gags, dented doors, cracked wood panels. The fifth existed only to donate parts. After filming, they scattered like ghosts, one rumored to a studio tour, another to a clueless private owner, one destroyed in the jump, and two lost entirely. For decades, collectors have hunted for the missing pair, hoping to find a truckster rotting in a barn somewhere, the holy grail of bad cars. The irony? The car that mocked America's obsession with consumerism has now become a collector's obsession itself. Number 16. The George Barris controversy. For 40 years, car historians have argued over one question: who really designed the family truckster? George Barris, the famed creator of the 1966 Batmobile, proudly claimed it. His autobiography, interviews, even signed photos all credit him. But Warner Bros. Records tell another story. The truckster was built entirely in-house, with no trace of Barris's shop involved. Crew members later said Barris often took credit for cars he never touched, capitalizing on his Hollywood legend. Some believe he may have sketched early concepts that were rejected, others that he simply lent advice. The truth likely lies somewhere in between, a blend of ego, myth, and memory. What's certain is that the physical cars rolled out of the Warner Bros. Transportation Department, not Barris Custom City. Yet his name stuck, proving that in Hollywood, reputation can outdrive reality. Number 15. The wood that wouldn't stop. No one had ever seen so much fake wood on a car. The family truckster's vinyl paneling didn't stop at the doors. It wrapped around the hood, the pillars, even the roof. The prop team mixed real vinyl with hand-painted sections, deliberately misaligned the grain, and added bubbling edges to make it look cheap. Under the desert heat, some of those vinyl sheets peeled for real, creating a strange authenticity. The fakery was literally falling apart. That overuse of wood became a visual satire of the 1970s American dream, manufacturers slapping imitation luxury on mass-market steel. What was supposed to look elegant instead screamed desperation. Today, collectors say the peeling panels are the truckster's finest detail because they tell the truth about that era, when America tried to cover rust with stickers of success. Number 14. The trash bag airbag. That iconic gag, the airbag exploding in Clark's face, wasn't a real airbag at all. In 1983, airbags were still rare and expensive, so Warner Bros. Invented their own, a black trash can liner attached to a hidden air hose. With a quick blast of compressed air, it inflated perfectly on cue. The crew went through dozens of takes, swapping liners each time. Chevy Chase had to reset his shocked expression again and again while trying not to laugh. The effect worked so well because audiences in 1983 had never seen a real airbag deploy. They believed it. A few thin sheets of plastic and perfect timing created comedy gold. Sometimes movie magic isn't about special effects. It's about using the cheapest prop in the smartest way possible. Number 13. Lou Gluck's Motors was real. The dealership that sold Clark his doomed car wasn't a studio set. It was a real dealership in Glendale, California at 900 South Brand Boulevard. The building stood just 2 blocks from Chevy Chase Drive, an unplanned coincidence that delighted the crew. During filming, the owners let Warner Bros. Crush a perfectly good Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser right in their service bay for the gag scene. Salesmen watched in disbelief as a working car was flattened for comedy. Eugene Levy, playing the slimy salesman, was so convincing that real dealers later said they both loved and hated him for it. After filming, the dealership kept the Lou Gluck's Motor sign for years as a local curiosity. Even decades later, fans still stop by to take photos where Clark Griswold's nightmare began. Number 12. The 50-foot desert bet. The truckster's desert jump wasn't just a stunt. It was a wager. Stunt coordinator Dick Zeiker bet the crew he could clear 50 feet in the air with that overloaded wagon. Skeptics called it impossible. The Truckster weighed over 2 tons and had the aerodynamics of a brick. Zeiker secretly reinforced the chassis, adjusted weight distribution, and timed the run perfectly. When the cameras rolled, he hit the ramp at the exact speed. The Truckster flew more than 50 feet, maybe 60, before smashing down hard enough to bend the frame. The shot was perfect, captured in one take, and Zeiker pocketed his winnings. That moment became one of the greatest car stunts of the 1980s, performed not by a muscle car or a sports coupe, but by the ugliest station wagon ever filmed. Number 11. The Auction Roller Coaster. Movie fame doesn't always mean market value. In 2013, a screen-used Truckster went to Meekum, Houston with heavy publicity. Bidding stalled at $35,000, short of reserve, and the owner pulled it in disappointment. Months later, the same car quietly sold through Hemmings for about $40,000. Then came 2019. A high-quality replica, not even used on film, fetched over $100,000 at Barrett-Jackson, Palm Beach. Collectors preferred perfection over authenticity. The worn originals were too fragile. The replicas were beautiful, drivable, and nostalgic. Today, top builders charge $75,000 or more to craft accurate Trucksters for museums and fans. The ugliest wagon in movie history has become a 6-figure collectible, proof that irony, like good comedy, appreciates with time. Number 10. The 2015 Resurrection. When Warner Bros. Revived Vacation in 2015, one thing was non-negotiable: the Truckster had to return. Yet instead of building a new one from scratch, the studio found a real-life Griswold family. Steve and Lisa Griswold of Georgia had already built their own replica, a loving tribute, complete with 8 headlights, fake wood, and that unforgettable green. They even drove it cross-country on a pilgrimage mirroring the original film, ending at the real-life Wally World, Six Flags Magic Mountain. Warner Bros. Was so impressed that they invited the Griswolds and their Truckster to cameo in the movie. During the red carpet premiere, the fan-made car stole the spotlight. The replica had literally driven itself into Hollywood canon, proof that the line between fandom and film history can blur when passion runs on 4 wheels. Number 9. The Wally World that almost wasn't. The ending everyone remembers, the Truckster limping into Wally World as Clark Griswold loses his mind, almost didn't exist. The original finale had the family enjoying a peaceful vacation. Test audiences hated it. Director Harold Ramis and writer John Hughes rewrote and reshot the climax, turning it into a meltdown of comic madness. Filmed partly at Santa Anita Park's parking lot and partly at Six Flags Magic Mountain, it required beating up one of the 5 Trucksters to the point of collapse. The crew glued hundreds of real dead bugs to the windshield and slathered oil-soaked desert dust on the panels. The bumper falling gag took 5 tries to perfect. That filthy, battered car in the final scene became the ultimate metaphor. The American dream, dented and exhausted, but still, somehow, rolling forward. Number 8. The Star of Volo Museum. 4 decades later, the ugliest car in cinema became a museum celebrity. The Volo Auto Museum in Illinois commissioned what experts call the most accurate Truckster ever built. Every dent, decal, and wobbling crown ornament was recreated. Then, in 2022, the car co-starred with Chevy Chase himself in a national Raising Cane's commercial. The actor, now in his 70s, climbed behind the wheel and immediately fell back into character. Between takes, he pointed out details that matched his memories and laughed at those that didn't. After filming, he signed the dashboard. Visitors to Volo can now sit inside, take photos, and play Holiday Road on repeat. What began as a parody has become pilgrimage, fans lining up to touch a replica of a joke that somehow turned into legend. Number 7. The Hallmark Christmas Miracle. In 2013, Hallmark decided that the Family Truckster deserved a place on Christmas trees. They released a detailed keepsake ornament, metallic pea green, luggage on the roof, and a tiny button that played Lindsey Buckingham's Holiday Road. Collectors went wild. Originally priced at $30, it sold out instantly and now fetches over $100 online. The idea was absurd. The ugliest car in movie history turned into a festive decoration of joy. Yet, it worked. The ornament captured what the Truckster had become. Not a punchline, but a piece of nostalgia. It hangs each December as a reminder that even disasters can sparkle under the right light. Number 6. The crown of the Wagon Queen. Perched above the hood like cheap jewelry, the Truckster's crown-shaped hood ornament was pure invention. The prop team designed multiple versions: lightweight plastic for driving scenes, heavy chrome-plated metal for close-ups. Before using the fake brand name Wagon Queen, Warner Bros. Lawyers double-checked global trademarks to avoid lawsuits. The crown wobbled comically on a spring base, giving the car a ridiculous royal swagger. After filming, the molds were destroyed, making it one of the hardest parts to reproduce for modern replicas. Some builders resort to trophy toppers or costume jewelry to imitate it. In a way, that sums up the Truckster perfectly. A cheap symbol pretending to be grand, still wobbling its way through pop culture history. Number 5. The fuel filler disaster. Among all of the Truckster's absurd design choices, none baffled the crew more than the gas cap. The filler neck wasn't in the back or on the side. It was hidden awkwardly behind the front grille, right above the engine. The absurdity was intentional, mocking the 1970s trend of bizarre fuel door locations. During filming, Chevy Chase spent minutes fumbling on camera, pretending to look for it, then accidentally ripped off a fake panel. The unscripted mishap looked so perfect that Harold Ramis kept it in the movie. Of course, the real fuel tank was under the rear bumper. No one was crazy enough to pour gasoline over a hot engine. Even so, the gag worked too well. Stunt drivers later forgot where the real cap was and wandered around the car at gas stations, just like Clark himself. Life imitating art, or maybe incompetence imitating genius. Number 4. Turn signals everywhere. The Truckster didn't just light up, it over-communicated. The prop team installed turn signals on nearly every surface: mirrors, fenders, even wood panels by the doors. Each one required its own wiring and relay. When activated at night, the wagon blinked like a Christmas tree on wheels. Neighbors near the filming locations complained about the glare. And once, a California Highway Patrol officer pulled the car over during transport just to ask what it was. He reportedly laughed, called it the ugliest car I've ever seen, and waved them on. The overdone lights mocked an industry that mistook complication for innovation. The Truckster was safety theater before safety was cool, a parody so bright it literally annoyed the public. Number 3. The art of breaking a car. Making the Truckster look destroyed was an art form. 3 separate cars were used to show progressive decay: clean, dusty, and catastrophic. The effects crew coated each layer with a mix of Fuller's Earth and motor oil to mimic grime buildup, then glued hundreds of real dead bugs onto the windshield and grille. Yes, actual insects collected from pest control companies. The famous falling bumper gag was timed using weakened bolts and a hidden cable. After 5 failed attempts, they finally captured the perfect collapse. By the end of filming, one Truckster was so wrecked it could barely start, held together with duct tape and hope. Yet on screen, its slow disintegration told a deeper story of a family, a dream, and a car all falling apart in sync. Number 2. The 40-year reunion. In 2022, Chevy Chase reunited with the Family Truckster for a Raising Cane's Christmas commercial. Nearly 40 years after vacation, he climbed into a near-perfect replica, the same one from Volo Museum, and instantly transformed back into Clark Griswold. Between takes, he reminisced about the cramped interior, the blinding headlights, and how uncomfortable those fake wood panels were. Fans gathered around the shoot, recognizing the car before the actor. Chase joked that the seat still smells like 1983. The ad went viral, reintroducing the Truckster to a new generation. Some legends fade with age. This one keeps refueling on nostalgia. Number 1. When replicas outshine originals. Here lies the greatest irony of them all. The replicas are worth more than the originals. The screen-used Trucksters were cheaply built props, welded, riveted, and battered beyond repair. They were never meant to survive. But modern craftsmen like Mark Webb have elevated the art of replication, spending thousands of hours perfecting every imperfection. His builds feature working 8-headlight systems, modern brakes, hidden air conditioning, and paint that glows under sunlight but never fades. One of his replicas sold for $120,000 to a collector who already owned a real screen-used Truckster. That one's history, the buyer said. This one's happiness. In the end, the car designed to mock failure became a symbol of devotion. The Family Truckster proves that even a joke done with love can outlast the punchline. Before we reveal the final truth, take a moment. If you've enjoyed uncovering these bizarre stories from Hollywood's backroads, hit that subscribe button and tell us which of these 20 weird facts blew your mind the most. Because the Family Truckster isn't just a car, it's a paradox on wheels. Built to fail, it succeeded. Designed to be ugly, it became unforgettable. Created as a joke, it turned into legend. Every dent, every crooked panel, every tacky inch of fake wood told a story about us, about the American urge to chase perfection, even when perfection is impossible. Decades later, the Truckster still lives in museums, on Christmas trees, in commercials, and in the hearts of fans who know that laughter is the most honest fuel. Its replicas gleam brighter than the originals ever did, not because they're flawless, but because they were crafted with love. The Family Truckster began as a parody of the American dream, but perhaps it became its truest version. A machine born from mistakes, rebuilt by passion, and remembered by millions. In a world obsessed with beauty, it reminds us that even disaster can be divine. So the next time you see that hideous green wagon rumbling down the road, don't laugh at it, laugh with it. Because somewhere under that peeling paints and fake wood lives the real spirit of Hollywood. Imperfect, ridiculous, and absolutely unforgettable.